Hello again, fellow lights and light travelers. I really appreciate your being here with me, connecting and letting me connect with your energy. This week's message feels like there's something creative that's coming through for a lot of you that maybe feels like it's in a little bit of what I pictured in my mind was like a river that had kind of a narrow passage, right? So there was one point within the river that's a little like a chokehold, a little bit of a slow, muddy pass that can be fixed. So that flow that's within you and that creative spark that's within you is looking to come forward. So Spirit comes through with advice this week for you in that process, some words of encouragement, and of course, some guidance. So, as always, this is your free will. Take what resonates, leave the rest. And I hope you enjoy this week's reading, Where the River Finds Its Way. Hello, fellow lights and light travelers. Welcome again to Light Journeys Tarot. I really appreciate your taking the time to connect, to be here, to welcome your energy and allow it to connect with mine. So I've already set up the table. I've invited my guides in. I always call forth energies for the highest good. I'm going to connect the energies as they sit and see what Spirit wants to come through to this collective that is connecting in today. I always like to emphasize these are the energies as they currently sit. You are not bound. You are not bound, right? You come into this life and you live your life with free will. So the intention is to listen, to take what resonates, to leave the rest, and then to go forth in your own highest good and make the messages and make the decisions from this message or from anything that's going on in your life that will serve your highest good. Trust yourself. Trust yourself to know. And when you're not sure, take that moment to just center and to connect inwards and to put your hand over your heart and to breathe, to clear your mind and go ahead and make those messages and take those decisions in your highest good so that you can move through this life towards your highest purpose. One thing I know in my heart to be true, and my guides always bring forth, is that we are meant to be together and we are meant to have this life as not one of suffering. And if something's suffering, it often is that something's out of balance and not in cohesion. So those are those moments that we can look to, we can reflect on, and we can say, what's out of balance here? And how can we correct course to get on a smoother path for our highest good, to learn our best lessons the least painful way possible, right? And to bring forth that light and that love into this world. So enough ranting. I appreciate your being here. I'm going to go ahead and get into this. I was called to use this deck today. I haven't used it in a hot minute. So we're going to use the Whimsical Realm of Oddities deck, and we're going to see what message Spirit wants to bring forth. Thanks again for being here. Let's get into it. All right, Spirit, what message wants to come forward this week for the collective? What message wants to come forward this week for the collective? All right. We've got the Ace of Wands in reverse, the King of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. All right, let's get into it. So how I like to do this, if you're new here, is I go card by card, and then I read the bigger picture, and then we go ahead and grab some oracle cards that I feel drawn to use, and then we'll see what the overarching message is for this week. So the Ace of Wands is fire, creativity. In reverse, we're seeing that there's some hesitation. There's some delays coming through. So this feels like perhaps there's some inspired action, some creative things going on in your life. This energy that's wanting to come through, but for some reason there's hesitancy. There's some sort of, I don't like to use the word blockage. I just feel like there's something that's like slowing down the process. Maybe there's some doubts, something that's coming into your mind that's stopping you from going through with it, or maybe some worrying that's coming in. Let's see. So what's interesting about this, immediately what I'm drawn to, so I was looking at the face and I was thinking, it feels like, you know, this block in creativity is causing you some frustration, right? The face is looking a little frustrated. But when I zoom out and I look at the overarching picture, what I'm drawn to is this silhouette. It almost looks like a person, an angelic being that's with you, right? So in your mind, and this feels like, right, if you're looking at this character, we're reversed. So we're looking at it this way. So this is the figure that's coming through for us, right? This worry is in your mind. And it's asking to be released up. Release it, ask for it to be converted to love and light, and release it up into the universe. Trust that the universe has you, right? This message that can connect with you, it can come through, but there's this worry is what's creating the block within this energy. This feels like you are being divinely protected, right? There are angel wings here. It almost feels like in trusting your creativity, you're allowing your wings to bloom, to blossom, to spread, but also you're allowing the truth of you to come forth and be shown, and you're being protected in doing this. I'm drawn to the stars right here in what looks like the throat chakra. So in this creation, this could be that maybe singing, writing, speaking your truth, sharing your stories, sharing your wisdom. This is so lit up. There's so much light here that's wanting to come forth through your words, through whatever it is that you create, right? And it's almost boom, 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 kind of like going up here and out to the world, right? So in speaking it and, removing this fear and getting that out of your way, you're going to have this light that's going to emanate, right? These little dots that we're going to focus on, that light is going to emanate from inside of you. So it almost feels like within this, what feels like a creative, I want to say like, it feels like a river, right? And then you get to a river that's kind of more narrow and it feels like it's a little bit muddy is the word I want to use. If we can just allow and, put in more belief in oneself, more love towards oneself, right? I'm picturing water. So I'm seeing the water in the river and it kind of coming and clearing away, right? It's not a true thing that's stopping this flow, this river, this creative spark that wants to come out of you. It just needs a little love and care to help kind of release that, a little belief in oneself to help release that message that you have, release that creative spark to share what it is that you need to share with the world to move it forth. So beautiful. Let's keep going. So with the King of Swords, you have that leadership mentality and that clarity of purpose, right? This is someone who can really truly think through what's happening, right? So it feels like you are inherently this energy, right? You have a clarity of purpose, and in connecting to that, right, you can help to, there's two ways, right? I see it going two ways, right? So for those of us or anyone that's connecting that can get intellectual, there is a beauty with a knowing that comes to you, like you have a set strength and leadership that comes within you. The downfall that can happen, not necessarily happening here, is that sometimes you overthink and becomes too over analytical, right? So this is asking you, it feels like a balance between the two. Be the leader that you inherently are, that you sit in. That's the power that you sit in. You're an intellectual. You have that power. Be mindful to not let it creep over your shoulder and not let that over-worrying or overthinking or over-planning clog the creative flow that's wanting to come through for you. Because you are also creative and you have things that you want to save, to share, and that you're being protected to do so. So you have creative things that want to burst forth from you that you're working on. This could be a project. This could be, again, a book, or writing, a song, something you just want to share with people, your thoughts. However this wants to manifest itself creatively for you, it's wanting to come through. Stick to your clarity of purpose. Be the leadership and be the leader, and do that leadership that you inherently are and that you live within that space. But in doing so, just be mindful to not overanalyze yourself. Give yourself the grace and love to be like, it's okay to not be perfect. It's going to be what it's going to be. What's going to come forth is meant to come forth. And I am protected within this coming forth. Always know that it will roll out how it's meant to roll out, as long as you go and you put your best foot forward and you lead with your heart, right? And believe in yourself and trust, right? And you also know, because you're an intellectual and you're a leader, that no matter what happens, even if a hiccup does happen with releasing this, you're intelligent enough and you've got enough of a leadership quality that if something rolls out and a tiny hiccup happens, you're going to be the type of person that you're able to come up with a solution. So trust, stop over worrying. Trust that if something does happen, and you know what, it's life, things are going to happen. If something does happen, you're going to be okay. You'll figure out a way through this. Like, you've got this. Like, go into that leadership. Have that clarity. It's going to be good. And if anything comes up, I'm going to tackle it. I'm going to get through it. I'm going to come up with a solution. We're going to keep moving forward. I'm going to be a leader. And this creative thing that I have within me is meant to be shared with the world. So let it be shared. Let it out there. Give yourself the grace. Give yourself the love. Give yourself that structure. Believe in yourself. And let it start rolling forth. Allow that, right? I said this isn't a river that's completely blocked. This is something that you can control. We can add. We can add that love, right? That water energy, that love back to yourself. We can add that back and we can release and believe. You've got this. The Queen of Swords is truth. She's intelligence. She's honesty, right? What I'm drawn to in this picture, first and foremost, is the way this sword is lit up. So it feels like what's coming through in my mind is, let this sword of truth be your guide. Let it light your way. Let it be your Excalibur, right? It was funny. The other day, I was in the movie theaters with my family, and there's a preview for this movie coming up, He-Man, which is based on a cartoon back from like the 80s, 90s. And he always holds up his sword and he exclaims, "I have the power." Okay? So this feels like, in your truth, in your honesty, trust that you have the power, that the truth will lead the way, that the truth and the clarity of this creative thing that wants to be shared, and it does feel like it's a truth or something within your throat, something that you're wanting to share with the world. Maybe it's something that you want to speak up about at work. It doesn't necessarily mean something controversial. It could be, there's a project that, like, I know would be so good for the company, or there's something that I've been creating because I've been here for a long time, and I feel like, if we take this department and they work on this, and we take this and we da and we can blend together and we can create this product that would be, wow, so amazing for the world, or so amazing for the company, or even a little something that will help with the business to move more smoothly, right? You have this truth. Let it be your light. You have this clarity of thought, right? You are a leader. So no matter what, if you roll it out and there's some hiccups, you got this, right? You're going to come up with solutions to make sure whatever this is that's coming forth will come forth for the highest light. And I'm getting a lot of strong, like, this almost feels like work energy, or just, and this could be in your everyday job, but this could also be something that you're creating and you're putting out into the world. So this could be like your side job. Of course, this could come in many, many ways for many, many people. So, take this as it resonates. I'm currently feeling a lot of like work energy around here. So something maybe that you're creating within your job, or in your side job, some type of project that you want to put out into the world that you feel can make things better. So to trust in your light, to trust that you have the power, right? To trust that you have the power and the truth and the clarity of mind, that you are a leader and you can get this done. You've got this. And to allow this creation that's like birthing forth in you, that is within you, that is so gorgeous and twinkly and amazing to come forth. You know, share it. Share, believe in yourself, right? You've got this. And whatever it is that you're creating, it feels so light and divinely guided that, you know, it feels like let it come out into the world. Let it be known. Let it, you know, I mean, the worst, if your company says no, then say, you know, they say no, or, you know, your side, whatever, if the project, if it doesn't work for the time being, then, you know, maybe continue to rework on it and figure out what it is that you need to what kinks you need to work out within it so that it can then move forward, right? And maybe it'll be at your company, maybe it'll be somewhere else. Maybe you'll take it out personally on your own and release, you know, this beautiful creative thing that you have that will help better the world in some way, right? Or better companies and processes some way. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be, you know, it could be a process of, I saw a video the other day. And there was a boy who was talking about how much we use plastics. Excuse me, I don't want to say boy. He was like a young man. So there was a young man talking about how we overuse plastics. And in the area in which he lives, there was a plant that is overgrowing and it's choking out life within these lakes and rivers, right? He figured out that within this plant, as they gather it up, because it overpopulates, as they gather it and gather it and gather it, so they have abundance of this process, this product, essentially, this plant, that they can transmute the plant, they can work with the plant, they can alchemize the plant, and they're able to take what the plant is, and don't ask me the science of it because I'm not the scientist, right? And change it to now it's a biodegradable plastic that they're able to create. So his idea, right? His idea, there's a plant that's got overgrowth and we've got too much plastic on this planet that is creating pollution, right? And then this plant, there's overabundance and it's choking out the systems and it's, you know, hurting the lake and it's hurting the fish. I can farm this plant to deal with this problem and I can, you know, alchemize this and I can take it and I can make it into a new form of plastic that biodegrades so it's better for Mother Earth. So like these are the type of creative ideas and it can be big and it can be small, but whatever it is within you, trust that there is something that is light and it is meant to be heard and shared and wants to come forth, right? So just allow yourself to be in that leadership, to believe in yourself and have your truth and clarity be the power. Be the power that leads the way and shines that light. Trust in yourself. You've got this. You'll be able to cut through whatever weeds, whatever plant overgrowth, right? That may be choking out the river, right? You can get through it, move it past and allow that forth for the betterment of yourself and for whatever means, however it is that you're meant to, whatever solution it is or creative thing that you're trying to, you know, put forth in the world, it wants to come forth and it's a good idea. As long as you lead from your heart, it's a good idea. Always move forward with the highest good for yourself and all, right? And if that's where it comes from a loving place, from, you know, you're intellectually thinking through this in a clear way and in a way that's meant to benefit yourself and all, right? And in the highest good, trust yourself. Trust yourself to have the power, to have the truth, to move it forward. Beautiful. All right. And this is an invitation. So take it or leave it. And like I said, this is the energies as they stand. So you have the free will to move through your life however you want. And also trust, if for whatever reason you feel like, no, this isn't the right moment, trust yourself. Maybe it's not. Maybe later will be. Or maybe it is. And now's the time to do it. Trust and believe, right? You've got this. Okay. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and see which oracle deck is calling to me so that we can add a little bit more to see what else Spirit wants to bring through and complete this message. Okay. First one we're going to read from is the Hero's Journey. Let's see what wants to come forth for you. Okay, Spirit. What other message would like to come through for this collective? What else would like to come through for this collective? What other message would like to come through for this collective? Okay, feeling called to stop. Dream redirection. Redream this situation. All right. So let's go ahead. Boop. And let's see what the book wants to tell us. So with these oracle cards, I always like to read directly from the creator. So let's go ahead and see what they said for dream redirection. Okay, there can't be any large-scale revolution until there's a personal revolution on an individual level. It's got to happen inside first. Jim Morrison. Message. When life isn't going your way, it is time for redirection. When you realize that you are the director of your dreams, the ones you have at night and by day, you can orchestrate a change of course, of tactic, or whatever else is needed. And I just want to say, this course kind of almost feels like the river that was feeling blocked. You can work through that. You have control over that. So thank you, Spirit. It is up to you to identify what is unfinished and how to close the loop in the most joyous and fulfilling way possible. If a dream is challenging, remember it isn't over until you experience a triumphant conclusion. There's that I have the power. That's that I've reached the pinnacle, that I have the power to do this, that I can make this dream a reality, right? No matter what challenging things come up, we said whatever comes up, you're going to come up with a solution. You've got this. You're going to get your triumphant conclusion. If a dream is uplifting, remember, it isn't over until you've received the elixir, the wisdom you can embody and share with others. If you face a challenge with an important person in your waking life, change the scene in your private meditation or in the privacy of your journal to the way that you most wish it would be played out. Okay, so this is an invitation to journal, to think through the things that may be troubling you, right? I'm having trouble with this particular situation. I would love it if I could work together with this person and then we could come up with a solution to do this, right? So it's inviting you to journal and think through these things, right? And to get it out that way. Or you can meditate on it, right? Or however it is, pray on it, whatever it is that you feel called to do, right? Life is a dream, and you are the writer, the director, and the wardrobe consultant. Thus, you can rewrite a scene in a way that is truly satisfying to your soul. As you practice directing your dreams, you will realize that you can also direct your life. Believe in yourself. Dream symbol, a movie, play, or theater. So this is, if you have a dream on this, I'll share it. Dreaming of theatrical events signifies that you are gaining awareness and objectivity about your life, the script, and the roles you play. This dream could be shedding light on any archetypal patterns or dramas you are playing out. If you dream of being on the silver screen or stage, it can be symbolic of your desire for self-expression, or it could be preparing you for prominent success, exposure, and recognition. And I'm pulling here into that self-expression here because I definitely feel like there's something within you that's wanting to be expressed. Like that's definitely showing in this first card. There's something that's wanting to come forward in expression. Mantra. It's my dream movie. I can rewrite the script if I want to. Believe that you have the power. Believe it. Believe it. The universe does not want you to suffer. And these creative, beautiful gifts that you want to give the world, as long as you're doing it in the highest good of all and from your heart space, are meant to come through, right? Okay. The next oracle I was drawn to is Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. Let's see what wants to come through. Okay, Spirit. What else would like to come through? What message? Oop. What message would like to come through for the collective? What message? What message would like to come through for the collective? What message? Okay, I'm feeling called to stop. The camel boy, small steps and asking for help. There we go. So maybe whatever it is that's coming forth, just taking it a little bit at a time and creating that thing, but let's see what the book has to say. Okay, so this is upright, so we're going to read just the ally portion, okay? So small steps, asking for help. When the camel boy comes out as your ally, he reminds you that asking for help will bring in the right people to ease the burden of your life. Perhaps a wise person appears to give you advice. Maybe you're moving and suddenly a couple of friends offer to give you a hand with your packing. Or you want information about someone and you just happen to run into their former partner who give you the knowledge you need to make the decision that you've been weighing. No matter the issue, this is a sign that if you ask, you will receive what you need. So perhaps that's that help with clearing, that flow, that blockage, whatever's going on, or perhaps there's little kinks in that creative process that you've got going on that you need help with. This is inviting you to go ahead and to trust, to ask for help, to see who can assist with kind of creating that flow and bringing forth so that you can bring forth this creative spark that you have into the world. No matter what the issue is, this is a sign that if you ask, you will receive what you need. Synchronicity is engaged when you request assistance. The camel boy never lets you down when you ask for help and lightening your load. Now is the time to do so and to expect to get it. So, trust that you are being protected, right? There is divine guidance here. Look for the synchronicities. With your heart, set the intention. I want to bring this creative thing forth for the highest good. I want this. I would like for this to work. So I'm calling in help. I'm asking the universe for help. I'm asking a coworker for help. I'm asking a friend for help. Okay? I'm setting out the intention that the universe is going to meet me and is going to help move that river flow. It's going to say, you have the power to do this, and we're going to bring forth this creative thing that you've been working on. This leadership potential that you have is going to be made manifest. The leader that you are is going to come forth in bringing this creative energy. Praying, meditating, journaling it, right? What it is that you want to happen, how you are going to ask for help and allow the help to come in, however it may come in, right? So don't box yourself into like, it has to be like this and it has to be like this. Trust that the universe is going to meet you to allow this to flow through. The help may come in unexpected ways, but putting forth that intention, journaling it, meditating it, praying on it, however it is that you want, sitting in silence, taking a walk, whatever it is, and you have that thought and you say, you know what? I'm asking for help. I'm going to release this intention to the universe so that this thing can come forth, and we're going to make it happen. And it's going to come, and I'm going to be victorious. I'm going to have that victorious elixir, like they said. This is going to be victorious. So I'm going to trust that it's going to happen. So believe in yourself. I'm wishing you the best of luck with whatever it is that's going forth. If you ever are interested, I do have readings on Ko-Fi or Coffee, not sure how it's pronounced, but please do check it out. I have it linked afterwards, and Etsy, so if you ever want a personal reading, please do. If not, I am just grateful that you are here, part of the collective. Please subscribe, give a thumbs up, share. I'm thankful for your time. I wish you the best. I send you forth with light. Good luck. You've got this. The cards believe in you. The universe believes in you. I believe in you. See you next week. Bye.